I'd rather like layer it appropriately so I could get good dirt.
So eventually that will turn into compost,
Yeah.
and that's called cold composting. And that's called anaerobic when you don't supply it with oxygen. So the two main ways of composting are aerobic, where you water and aerate, and that really activates all the microorganisms and the bacteria. So I have 3 different compost bins in my house. I have a pallet bin like this. I have the big round composting one. You found another one?
Can we touch the worms?
Sure, you could touch the worms. And you know what else we have that we just discovered today? Let's see. Let's see if we can find them. It's not as exciting as worms.
What is it?
It's a black soldier fly grub. So I just was catching up on my composting facts last night, and I found out that people intentionally import black soldier flies to do the same job as worms.
Wow.
And so even though you don't see any flies and you don't smell anything because it's properly ratioed, the black soldier flies are actually exactly what should be here. And I didn't know that until last night when I was...
Are they native?
Yeah, they're native to any compost bin, I believe. They're the bigger ones that are found around the country. So cute. Girls, come on down this way. So first we start with kitchen stuff that we can't eat. So some animal got to this tomato, so we couldn't eat it because they ate it. But we ate these clementines and we ate this lemon, and these peanuts went bad, so we put them in here, and we ate the corn. So we take all of our kitchen scraps, and our program started in March where 15 people came and weighed and recorded all their kitchen scraps, and then I mixed in the appropriate amount of carbon. So this is the nitrogen, and then this is the carbon. So you mix 3 to 4 parts carbon with 1 part nitrogen, which is the kitchen scraps. So we use rotten wood. You learned about the hugelkultur beds. So same premise. You start with the rotten wood, the stuff with all the microbes and bacteria already in it as the base. And then we add maple sawdust from the cabinet maker. So everything we do is local and free, and we're actually saving the cabinet maker from paying to get rid of this. He was filling up a 10-yard dumpster that he had to pay to get rid of it. Now I'm taking it, and this first bin, which we made 1,500 pounds of compost out of 1,000 pounds of kitchen scraps, took 23 garbage bags of sawdust. It took 5 bags of coffee bean chaff. It took all of our mulch leaves from the property, so we mow all the leaves and branches, and then we just take all this stuff and mix it in as well. And then anything else we could find that we know is good. So these sunflowers broke, they go in the compost. We have daylily stems. We have white bark. You ever see white bark?
No.
Yeah, feel that. Isn't that cool? It's like paper, right? Yep. I have some local hemp stalks that I've been adding. This is burdock root. These are the cell pods but I kept so that we can grow burdock. But the burdock is fantastic for the compost. I don't know exactly the scientific reason why. I just follow composters and they love burdock. So what's great about this is that it sticks to your fingers. It's where they got the idea for Velcro. I love it. We gotta find more worms for these girls.
I love it. Oh, he's taking the rest.
So you know what, girls? I put 6 worms in this finished compost. Let's try to find them. Do you guys think you can find 6 worms in here?
I can find a couple.
All right, a little baby worm. So this is the finished product. A beautifully screened and healthy. Oh, here's some more. You see them? There he is.
I found a wormy.
So the one thing about composting is you can't do it wrong. Even if it takes you a year and a half, you will end up with compost. And the fact that you are keeping the methane from going into the atmosphere with the kitchen waste. So if you did an aerobic pile where you turned it and got oxygen in it, you would have no methane. You would clear all the methane out of the kitchen waste. But even in your anaerobic pile where you're not turning it, you're reducing it so much. And I read last night if we all composted, it would be the equivalent of taking 8 million cars off the road. Just like that.
This pallet type of...
Yeah, so I have a pallet type just like this. Then I have the rolling bin, which is a lot easier. And then you can put a wheelbarrow right underneath it, so when you dump it out, it goes right in the wheelbarrow, goes right into your garden. And then the last type I have is a Southampton Town black plastic bin with aerating holes in it. I got it in 2006 and it's still for $10 through Southampton Town, one of their programs, and it still works. And it still works wonderfully. So that one would be an anaerobic one because I'm not turning it. I put the kitchen waste in, there's a door in the bottom. I let it just do its thing on its own really. And then I take that out of the bottom and I don't consider it a finished product. So then I put that in the rolling bin and I added 2 fish to each bin this spring. There was never any smell and I can't even find the fish 2 weeks later. They just disappeared. Oh my goodness, look at this worm. She really likes you.
I think it's a girl.
Yeah.
I think it's a guy. Oh, look at this guy.
Gentle, okay?
Well, it hasn't rained much, so all the worms went down to the bottom. I should have wet it more and they would have came back up to the top. I came here once and there had to be 1,000 worms just right on top. Just like these soldier fly grubs. They love it.
To get started, did you buy the worms and put them in?
So no, everything I do as resource director is free. As much as possible, I get everything for free. So I walk in the woods, I lift up a piece of cardboard or something, find worms, import them. Anytime I'm moving rocks, find worms, I import them. And then I take them out of here and I put them in all the beds. So the tomato plants all got 5 worms each when we planted those. And everyone who harvested 20 pounds of compost at the end of their 3-month season of participating, they got a whole handful of worms at least too. So the pail is $20. You get $20 worth of compost for a $40 program. And then you can get pickup service for another $20. So for 3 months of pickup service, it ends up less than $2 a week. You're paying for someone to come, weigh your compost, clean out your pail, bring it here, make it, and then at the end of 3 months you come here and you get 20 pounds of compost with worms. So what we're doing is not really raising money as much as fostering change and educating how to do this and how easy it is and how many things you can use, whether it's the egg carton or the eggs, you know, just taking all this stuff and keeping it out of the dump.
I see his face. He's squirming towards you.
Is that pretty cool?
Yeah, wormies are the best.
Yeah, now you're gonna go see some honeybees.
Oh,
Let's
enjoy your
go
day,
meet
girls.
Mr. Chris, and he could talk to you all about bees
Yeah.
and what
You're
they
welcome.
do.